Hello, this is Caelan Huntress, and today I'm doing a homepage review of pdxmassage.net. This is the website of David Jacob, who's a licensed massage therapist in Portland, Oregon. And the first thing that I like about this homepage is that it's got a really big hero shot of David at work. This is a picture worth 1,000 words right here. It's David practicing his craft. So this is the first thing that I like, is it's a really big, bold hero shot of David at work. I'd like it if it was a little sharper. It's a little pixelated here on my monitor, but it's one of those things that's difficult to get right, the balance of high quality photo with low quality enough to load quickly. The second thing that I like is that it's a parallax background. The photo stays in place as the background while elements scroll above it, and that's a really nice touch. It's been I've been seeing this a lot over the last few years in a lot of different websites. I use it in my own sites, and I think that this is great to have a parallax background. So that's the second thing I like, is the parallax. The third thing that I like is that the colors match the photo. There's not yellows and pinks that have nothing to do with the photo at all. It seems like this brown was used in order to find some complementary colors. Like I could see the green in the plant here and the green in the footer. And the red isn't necessarily from anything in the photo, but it comes from elements in the photo. So that's the third thing that I like, is that the colors seem to be well selected. The fourth thing that I like is that the main call to action buttons are right here on the home page. Do you want to call David? Do you want to schedule an appointment? Or do you need a map to get to see him? Those are the big three things that people will be coming to this website to do. And so having three call to action buttons for those things, it makes this a functional home page. It's serving its purpose. So that's the fourth thing that I like, is that the call to action buttons are spot on. But the first thing that I would improve about this homepage is I would have these buttons here under the top menu, and I would have the menu stay in the same place while elements scroll beneath it. If you could do a parallax background on your website, you could also make the header sticky, so that this header would stay right where it is while people are scrolling, and you could also have the buttons hover below that header and stay right where they are, so that as people are scrolling, the three main call to action buttons would be right here at the top. So that's the first thing that I would improve, is making these call to action buttons permanent, so that no matter what part of the page you're looking at, you see those three buttons. The second thing that I would improve about this homepage is I would flip the photo. I'd flip it horizontally so that David is over here on the right and the plants are over here on the left. Because right now, the text, you can read it when it's over David's shirt. But as soon as it gets over David's face, it gets really illegible. And so there's two solutions to this. You could either do a text shadow on all of the text so that it sticks out a little more, or what I'd recommend is doing an overlay. And if you flipped the photo so that David's on one side, and then there's more content like the person getting the treatment and the plants that we don't really need to see so much, underneath the text, you could do a fading overlay so that over on the extreme left side of the page, it's all black. And then that fades, it graduates up until the center where it's at 0%. And so you'd go between 0% and 100% for this overlay, and then you'd be able to see the white text much clearer, and you'd be able to read it better. So that's the second thing I would improve, is I'd flip the photo and get an overlay to increase the text legibility. The third thing that I would improve is I would reduce the number of fonts that are in play. There's a different font in the buttons, there's from the heading right here, from the text, and generally, if there's more than two fonts on a web page, I begin to question whether or not the fonts are used to augment the experience, or if they're diluting the experience. This phone number font is really neat, but I'd like to see that font elsewhere in the page, because I think maybe this is the same font as the phone number font, but this is a different phone number font right here. And so I would reduce the number of fonts to two at most, unless you wanted to have one specific font for, let's say, the phone number that didn't overlap with any of the other ones. So that's the third thing I would improve, is fewer fonts. And the fourth thing I would improve is this photo down here. It's kind of neat how, at least on my monitor, it pops up right in David's heart. You see the David in the David, which I think is cool. But having it show up, like we have all this text, we have call to action buttons, and then this photo just shows up. It seems like this photo wants to be a part of this content right here. This is David saying, I look forward to helping you relax and feel great. This should be in its own separate box, maybe its own element elsewhere in the page or next to all the footer stuff. As it is right now, I think this photo just kind of sticks out and doesn't really serve a purpose that's helpful enough to merit its placement. So those are the 4 things that I like and the 4 things that I would improve about pdxmassage.net. If you'd like to have your own homepage reviewed, there's a link in the description below. See you later.